Well, hello and welcome to the Profit Express. I'm Tim Healy. I'm inviting you to join me each and every Wednesday so you can be prepared to win the battle for business. That's right. Hey, thanks for being on board today. And as always, a big thanks to our good friends and sponsors, Corbett Public Relations, where they've been promoting and protecting businesses and brands for over 30 years. So do yourself a favor. Visit Bill and his team at CorbettPR.com. That's CORBETTPR.com. Now, I don't think that any of us as human beings can really know our true potential in life until we are faced with adversity. That's right. Then and only then will you really know what you're truly capable of. And that's why I'm very excited for today's guest. His story is one that has truly inspired me for years. His story is one that literally, and it's a pretty rare accomplishment, his story inspires anybody who hears it. He inspires anybody he comes in contact with, whether it's on a show like The Profit Express, whether he's talking to you at a coffee shop, it doesn't matter. So if you've been feeling down recently, if you feel like you've got nothing more to give in life and business, personally, professionally, and financially, if you feel like you're at the end of your rope, don't go anywhere because that's all about to change. I'm having on the show, as I said, a dear friend of mine. And if you haven't heard of him before, I guarantee you he's going to be a source of inspiration for you. He is Mitch Shapiro. He's the founder, he is the chairman, the CEO of Help America Here. And he lives with a disease called Usher Syndrome, which is a cause of deaf blindness. I did it again. I love him. But listen, all right. So here I told Mitch before we started, let's have some fun with this. So listen, before I have him on, and this is the fourth time I'm having him on the show. There's a serious side to the show. What's that?
I thought it was the fifth.
No, it's the fourth. And it may be the last. So just be careful. Lean forward. Okay. Get closer to the mic, Mitch. Get closer.
Okay. I can do that.
All right. So I think, and it's also the fourth time I spend so much time doing these beautiful introductions, these heartfelt introductions, a longtime friend, one of my greatest personal inspirations.
And then you seem to think I ruin it.
And then you dive bomb, and then you steal the show on me yet again.
Well, that's what you want me to do, isn't it?
I guess I do. It's good for ratings,
there
downloads,
you go.
Clicks. But so I'll be a little bit serious. We're going to have fun with today's show, because, and this is why I have him on. There's a lot of reasons I have Mitch on, because as human beings, myself included, so many of us scratch the surface of our human potential, and we allow excuses to get in the way, and we allow whining to get in the way. And I'm as guilty as the next person. But having had the great pleasure of knowing Mitch, how long is it now? It's close to 20 years.
Easily 25 years.
Yeah.
Has to be.
So in knowing Mitch that long, he's truly been one of the sources of inspiration for me, because when you go through life with Usher Syndrome, with deaf blindness, and I don't know anybody who is normally as positive as Mitch, who doesn't deal with what Mitch has to deal with. And to me, to share his message with you is a privilege, and I know it's going to absolutely enrich your life in one way, shape, or form. So that's enough of the serious stuff. That's enough of me telling the world how great Mitch Shapiro is. So as we're getting ready for the show today, we're catching up. And again, he's the founder and the president, the CEO of Help America Here. I'm going to let him tell the story on that. A tremendous foundation. On his business card, okay? Now, people think, it's 2023. Are we still using business cards? Well, if you had a business card like Mitch Shapiro, you'd be using one too. So I got to read this, Mitch. This is great.
Go ahead.
So it's Help America Here. It's got the logo. It says Mitch Shapiro, founder and CEO. And just under that, his title, Executive Professional Beggar.
I take nothing away from fundraising professionals, but that's the way I feel. Since I'm simply a volunteer,
right,
I can get away with that.
Now, all right, volunteer, and How many years are you celebrating Help America Heal?
We'll be an organization of 20 years in 2024. But
Okay.
in 2004, we started as Foundation for Sight and Sound
Yep.
with the purpose of raising money to give to other not-for-profits that were trying to keep their programs going or start a new program. We were having trouble raising money because we couldn't tell people where the money was going because it was all by grants.
Right.
So we developed a program. I met somebody, a few people along the way, and met one of my close friends, Dave Carr, who is a 30-year hearing healthcare professional. And we started a program called Help America Hear program to provide hearing aids to the less fortunate around the country. After so many years in 2018, talking to the board, I realized it was impossible to do two different things, to work on vision issues and to work on hearing issues.
Right.
And I said, we got to reevaluate what we do, where the resources are coming from, where the resources are going to. And we decided that the most success was the Help America Hear program, including our Help America Hear scholarship, which we can talk about later.
Sure.
But the bottom line is, in 2019, we officially became Help America Hear, Inc.
And then in 2024, you'll be celebrating 20 years.
As an organization,
wow.
Yes.
The tremendous accomplishment. Now, there is, again, with your story, there's so much to talk about and to share. And I've known you for many, many years. And, I've shared my stories and having my business. And, you've talked about, your successes and your challenges and your frustrations running a non-for-profit, because it's let's face it, it's a very unique proposition, looking for support, looking for donations. When times are down, when the economy was in the toilet in 2008, 2009, then you had the pandemic. But what I'm absolutely amazed with is that when I've spoken to you recently, and I'm going to mention your age.
Go ahead.
You're 70 years old. You don't look at number
70 years young.
Okay. Well, there you are correcting me, which I need to be corrected. Thank you, Mr. Shapiro.
Anytime.
So you got to keep me on the straight and narrow, Mitch. So you're 70 years young. And as I said, we've known each other for a long, long time. And you have a renewed sense of commitment and passion for Help America Hear. When you'd think a lot of people would be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to be winding down.
You remember me telling you that?
Of course.
That was only a few years ago. I said, this is it. I didn't think we were going to keep going.
Right.
I was getting tired.
Yep.
I was looking for something, just so I can spend more personal time instead of more work time.
Right.
But as you can see, that really hasn't happened yet.
So yeah, because you have the mobile home, the RV, right?
Yes. My wife and I travel quite a bit.
The lovely Donna. A shout out to the lovely Donna.
We'll be married 9 years next month.
9 years.
9 years.
Oh my goodness! Holy cow!
Yeah, but the truth of the matter is, I enjoy this downtime of traveling for 2 months at a time now.
Okay.
But it's not all personal time. While I'm traveling, I'm also spreading the word about our organization. We just came back from a Florida trip, a 3.5-week trip. We saw 30 people in 4 states in 3.5 weeks. Family, friends, and new friends. And because I did this, I met some people that I didn't know that were from my old high school, that were part of the alumni. And I was able to inspire him enough that he donated to me for the 3rd time, as well as helping to spread the word to the other alumni. So this is what I do all day.
Now, all right. So we've spoken about this. As everybody knows, and the listeners could have a number of their own charities that they're involved in. There are lots of great charities that support lots of great causes. Okay, we know that. You're one of
many.
There's thousands across the country, big and small, and everything in between.
And new ones starting every day.
Exactly. So now, for somebody who doesn't know Mitch Shapiro, for somebody who doesn't know Help America Hear, why is it a good organization to get behind and to support?
The best way for me to describe that to you is to quote one of my board members, is that you can tell by what we do, the success that we have, that we actually put the money where we say it's going to go. We don't waste money. We provide hearing aids around the country to men, women, and children with limited financial resources that cannot afford the cost of hearing aids. Number two, we have a scholarship for high school seniors with hearing loss that are going to college for the first time. So with that being said, which I'm very proud to share with you, is that last year we, with our partner manufacturer, we increased the amount of scholarships we gave away last year to 10 students of $2,000 and a brand new pair of hearing aids. We just received a matching grant, $40,000 over 2 years from the Stavros Niarchos Foundation. And we are going to be giving $4,000 to 10 students plus a brand new pair of hearing aids.
So now, again, you certainly know the specifics. I don't want to speak out of turn.
It's okay.
Regarding hearing aids, they're not always covered. They're certainly in a very...
Usually not covered by
insurance.
Insurance, thank you.
Right, and I didn't know that. It was probably one of our previous conversations that I was in line because I thought, certainly they would be because glasses are, right? I wear glasses myself. But I'm really surprised that they're not, and they're certainly not, they're expensive equipment.
Extremely. But if I get down to specifics, when you really think about it, the cost of it, you want me to do sales terminology? Well, when you're buying something, you think of how many years it's going to last, how much is it going to cost you for how many years, divided by how many months, how many weeks, how many days, and you figure it out. It's not really as expensive as you think it is.
Right.
It's for the benefit that you receive from the hearing aid.
Yeah.
And that's the whole key. Our goal as an organization is to give people that wonderful gift of sound again, so that seniors, for example, so that they can become part of society again, that they're not shunned, that they're not hiding behind the TV set or raising the volume to scare everybody out of the house. This is important. You think about your parents, your grandparents, think about your young adult children, whether it be a genetic or whether it be a traumatic hearing loss. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Our goal is to help as many people as we can.
Right.
And I'm proud to say that since 2009, we have fit over 1,800 people across the country with hearing aids. This includes the scholarship kids.
I mean, that in itself was a tremendous accomplishment. I know you've, of course, at the hands of your board and your team. And it's funny, we talk about over the years, we've all been involved in networking events. We've all been involved in charities and fundraisers. And, there are a lot of, what's your phrase? There's Johnny Walkers and Johnny Doers.
I was just going to say that to you. It's just,
I beat you to one now. Finally, I got one on you, Mitch.
Yeah, no, not really, because you got it wrong. I always said that what I have now that I didn't have before is I have all doers. I don't have Johnny Walkers.
The Johnny Walkers, right.
And
that was
my board, without the people that are involved with me today,
right.
I don't think we'd be where we are today. I think of last year's golf outing, for argument's sake. We sold out.
Yeah.
We had 152 golfers last year.
That's incredible.
It is. I mean, it was just unbelievable. I know we're going to sell out this year, too. I'm not even concerned about it.
Right.
But it's because of the team that's behind the whole thing, the committee, the board. Everybody chips in. Everybody goes one step further than they need to. Why? Because they all believe in the work that we're doing, and they're all passionate about what we do. We are simply a grassroots organization. We've lived for almost 20 years on a shoestring budget, and we're still here. I did not expect to be here at this point. I really did not.
Right, and you thought you'd be slowing down. That hasn't happened either. So now,
I just didn't think we were going to last this long.
Yeah, and you stood the test of time.
Yeah.
Through some challenging economies, through a pandemic, not easy, certainly.
Well, let me put it to you this way: we are very fortunate to have a vast majority of hearing healthcare professionals that work with our program, donate their time to make this program work. Without them, we're nothing. Okay,
Right.
because that's the premise of the program is that everybody gives their time.
Well, again, listen, Mitch. You're clearly the driving force. You're clearly the passion that drives it. But without the team behind you, I mean,
They're
this.
all passionate. They're all on the same plane as I am.
Right. All right. So, all right. Let's talk a little bit about. Again, you and I go back, and I have to give you a ton of credit because anybody in business, when you go to fundraisers, okay, and the business communities here locally on Long Island, across the country, businesses do a lot to support charities, charitable organizations.
That is correct.
But again, we're getting a lot of invitations, we're getting a lot of requests, so it's about the events that you put on as an organization. And I remember, I mean, you're just super creative. You put on these great events, and some of the events that you had way back in the day.
The blind wine tasting gala, the blind tug-a-jet challenge.
Oh, come on now. Look at you stealing
I'm
all
dating
my
myself.
thunder here. No, remember the tug-a-jet?
Yeah.
I remember the tug-a-jet. Now, let me just stop for a second there. I'll have my engineer kill your mic so I can talk on my own show here. I mean, I got a sip of water. So the tug-a-jet was...
you just lost 2 seconds with that sip.
The tug-a-jet was having teams, literally... what airport was it?
3 men and 3 women.
3 men, 3 women, tugging this jet. Jet was just...
15,000-pound Learjet,
right,
totaling 100 feet in the fastest time, blindfolded.
I'm glad I was able to tell the story. And a lot of fun. But then you also... I don't know when this was. You remember you propelled down the building?
Oh, yes.
That was a great one too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I'd have, the balls to do that myself.
I hate to tell you, I'm afraid of heights.
But listen, when there's so much to any business, there's so many elements to any business. Then if you look at the elements necessary to putting on a charitable organization, and you as the leader and the creativity and the name that you've developed for yourself, again, here in branding, right, in in the Long Island community is tremendous. Now you've got, I don't want to talk about it too much yet. You do have an event coming up. Which one is that?
The one we have coming up is on March 21st, which is Tuesday. We have our first
ever
casino
night.
A
little closer to the mic.
Oh, okay, sorry.
There you go. That's okay.
March 21st, we have our first casino night that we've ever done. We're hoping to have 100 to 150 people show up. Of course, they got to pre-register.
Sure.
But it's going to be a real fun night. The usual blackjack tables, craps.
Okay.
Which I asked them to put it closer to the bathrooms.
Oh,
I know, I'm bad. I know.
I'm waiting for the jokes to start. Okay.
They get the big wheel, the roulette. And there'll be a buffet dinner, passing of hors d'oeuvres, open bar, and it's free admission. But you have to register on our website.
Right. Listen, so it's free admission. So when people come, you know what?
Hopefully they'll do the right thing.
They got to do the right raffle tickets.
Buy fun money.
Right. Right.
It to me, in my head, it's already a very successful event.
Right.
But that's in my mind because I believe in it.
All right. Let's talk about that for a moment. So, and it's funny because again, this is our 4th show together, and I started the show by saying a human being can't realize in my belief, their true potential until they face adversity, until they test who they are. And so many of us have so much more that we're just usually scratching the surface of our potential. And here I've known you for 20 plus years. And this is just Tim talking now, okay? As I see it. And you can disagree or not, Mitch. But you have reasons why, and nobody would blame you, where you said, you know what? It's going to be for Mitch right now. I'm dealing with Usher Syndrome. I've dealt with it for most of my life.
So what?
Right.
So what? I'm no different than anybody else. I've got a job to do. I don't get paid for what I do. I do it because I love helping people. This is my way of paying it forward to others for the resources that I've had all
Right.
my life, coming from the restaurant industry in my past life
Right.
and transitioning into the not-for-profit world,
Right.
where I didn't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt, this is a new vehicle for me. I'm going to learn what I need to learn, and I'm going to do what I think is the best thing to do so that I can help others. And I'm going to drag others along with me. And that's exactly what I did. I personally feel, you talk about your true potential.
Right.
There's a lot of people out there in the business world that believe charity begins at home and stays at home. They don't understand that with their success, they pass the success on and find a charity that best suits their passion in life, whether it be Help America here or whether it be something else.
Right.
You got to go with what you believe in. And, like I said before, Tim, I'm fortunate that the people who have come along for the ride and the journey that we've created now and continue to come on board with us are seeing that, using the golf outing as an example, people have said to every different member of the committee and the board, this is the best golf event we've ever been to. So,
Wait, all right, no, okay. 'Cause
So-
listen,
so my
wait,
point
hold on,
is-
I'm going to interrupt. Hold on.
Okay.
If we're in business, we've all been to lots of golf outings, right? We've been to plenty
always.
of them, right? What makes yours the best?
Well, number one, the people that are involved. Number two, when you go out on the golf course, gosh, almost every hole has something on it, whether it be a vodka tasting, clams on the half shell. We have just some beers. Ivorone brings their food there. Last year we had Dino Luzzi energy drink imported from Italy, and they actually own 3 race cars, and they put their logo on the hood of their cars.
So see, but it's
This
so
is just all good stuff.
right, and to put on an event, anybody who's put on an event knows how much is involved, the details, the people, the logistics, to be able to kick it off. But I think it then goes back to, you say, tongue in cheek, I drag people with me kicking and screaming. You're not dragging people.
No,
kicking and
they're
screaming.
willingly.
You know that.
I asked them to be involved.
Right.
Some of my other people asked them to be involved, and they willingly come along. Once they see what we're doing, they're proud to be a part of it. That's the key.
So the title is Executive Professional Beggar. I love the card, by the way.
Thank you.
I love the title. When you talk to others in the non-for-profit world, is it harder because Help America here has Mitch Shapiro? That's a tremendous advantage.
No, it's not a disadvantage because it's not about me anymore. For example, right now, the golf outing is called the John Thomas Golf Classic. John Thomas is now a 13-year-old young man, very smart. He's on the honors in school, et cetera, et cetera. He was born as a twin preemie,
Right.
as well as he was found out to be deaf or hard of hearing, as I call it. His father came to our golf outing, won a pair of hearing aids, met my friend Dave Carr. His son hearing got better because he got better service, et cetera, et cetera. He became part of it. I named the golf outing after this young man because he right now is my inspiration for all he does with his hearing loss. So again, this is not about me. I'm very careful about naming too many people because I know I'm not going to forget them.
Right.
Right now, I have 12 board members. Everybody's happy. We're going to be adding a couple more. I'm trying to be careful that we stay the course, not get too big for our own britches, but be able to continue to give to the hearing loss community to the best of our abilities. But we cannot do it without, number one, donations from the general public.
Sure, of course.
Support from the business community by either becoming a sponsor, becoming a dedicated donor, lending the staff, volunteers, and providing products to be used at our various raffles and events.
Right, auctions, et cetera. So now, all right. So, I talked
So
earlier.
you see I'm begging now.
Oh, yeah. Well done. And thank you for reminding us. That was great. Well said. So now, all right. I just spoke about how, over the years you've had some really fun events, some really memorable events. Let's just have some fun. As you look back, what has been your favorite event? Favorite. I'm not saying most successful. Your favorite event.
My favorite event was the blind tug of jet.
Really? I love that one too. Go ahead. Yeah.
Because I loved the fact that it was teamwork. It was just something you don't do every day.
Right.
Everybody does a wine tasting.
Right.
Everybody does a golf outing.
Yep.
A lot of people do casino nights. We also have a 5K run coming up in May. So,
I will be there. Yes.
I hope so.
Absolutely.
I hope you win this too.
I doubt that, but I'll be there.
Well, that's okay. Maybe I'll run behind you and keep poking
Wait,
you with
I get a
hot poker
T-shirt?
stick.
Wait, hold on. Do I get a T-shirt? Right? Do I get?
Oh yeah, of course you'll get a T-shirt.
I want a T-shirt if I
we'll
show
have a
up.
special one, friend of Mitch.
Okay.
But seriously, the jet pull was just a phenomenal event. It wasn't that successful, but it took a lot of energy to put it together.
Right.
And it was fun.
Right. And you talk about energy to put it together. And like I said, you and I were chatting. I think we had lunch a couple of years ago. And, I said, Tim, I'm going to be winding down. I'm like, and I was a little sad to hear that, but I understood it. So if it's a couple of years ago, you're 70 years young now. So maybe, you were 67 at the time. I don't know. But you said, I'm winding down. And at that point, okay, it makes sense. You've given a lot of your life to this. You've accomplished a lot. And I know, but here you are at 70, and you have as much, if not more energy than I've ever known you to have.
I'll tell you why.
Right.
I have been inspired by the people that have been part of the new team. Without them, I don't think I'd be as energetic as now. They stand behind me in so many ways. And they inspire me by the fact that they do more than we ask them to do. They are all part of the bigger picture of making us the success we are today. I would love to give credit to a lot of different people, but if I leave one person out, as I learned in speaking, that you don't thank people publicly,
they know
except
who they
as
are.
a whole.
It's
so
the board,
I've learned. But there are just so many of them, and again, everybody's come through in different ways, and have more than expanded their expectation. So if you want to go back to what you said in the beginning, these are people that know what their true potential is, and they go beyond it. Me personally, do I want to wind down? Eventually. I would love to be able to hire someone to do a lot of the grunt work that I'm still doing. I would love to stay involved in every single day matters and meet the people around and inspire people to get involved. But I need more help. I just can't do this alone anymore. So in retrospect, yes, I would like to slow down, but I'm energized. I'm extremely energized to do more.
So now, okay. So we're going to talk about the casino night in a second. You mentioned it's coming up. But if there were one initiative, you said, eventually you'll slow down, but you have a lot of big ideas. What's the next big thing for Help America Here?
Well, let me go back one second. We have the Help America Here program. We have a scholarship program. I guess the next two big things on my list right now, besides hiring someone to help me reach these dreams and goals, is we are looking to do what we call the Gift of Sound hearing aid missions. What does that mean? It means locating around the country certain areas that there are a lot of low-income people that will benefit from hearing aids, finding a hearing healthcare professional that wants to donate their time and fit a minimum of 20 people at one fitting, meaning, we find these people over a 3-4 month period. They get tested. We fix up the hearing aids for them, and then on that particular day that we have this mission, those people actually receive their hearing aids. They get turned on, adjusted, and
ready to go.
That is a big dream. It's expensive to do this.
And you're saying 20 people in one
minimum
shot.
Well, yeah, within a few hours.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
It's a whole production because
of course.
What we want to do is we want to have photographer, videographer, so to capture the moments of the day.
Right.
Of course, you got to set up a lot of other things, diagnostic equipment.
Yeah. A lot goes into it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The other big dream is eventually to have a motorhome or two outfitted as a hearing aid lab to use it as what I call a disaster relief vehicle, to go to areas of the country where, like when they had the tornado in Kentucky and the whole town got demolished, maybe there was a hearing healthcare professional that lost his practice, so that we can send this vehicle over to him to use.
Wow.
That's in my head.
Okay. Yeah, but here's a great thing. You've had lots of things in your head, some crazy things in your head.
I do.
But so we got to filter some of those out. But
it's the passion
right.
that I have to helping people. Like I said before, and I always want to keep reminding anyone, I do not have any personal financial gain from doing this.
Yep.
This is not about Mitch Shapiro. This is about Help America Here, providing hearing aids and scholarships for people with hearing loss.
Casino night, when is it? Where is it?
Casino night is Tuesday, March 21st from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Heritage Club in Bethpage at the golf course.
Okay, Heritage Club, Bethpage here on Long Island. Give the date again.
March 21st, Tuesday from 6 to 10.
6 to 10.
You must pre-register at Help, H-E-L-P, America, Here, HEAR.org/casino night.
Awesome. So now, because it caught my attention, it's an upcoming event, which again, your creativity, I got to give you credit. You again, the creativity, the branding. You also have a comedy.
Okay.
Can we talk about that?
Yes.
I don't get it out of
right now, it's still in planning stages.
Right.
But on November 24th, with 4 fellow comedians. So those who don't know, I also do stand-up comedy.
No, he doesn't. He's
don't listen
corny.
to him.
No, yes, I've heard your jokes.
I know they may be corny, but they're good.
Jokes.
They're good. Come on, admit it.
No,
admit it.
Every so often you get a good one.
Shut up, you.
I have to suffer through 5 to get a good one. But go ahead. Tell
me
you
about
this
don't.
Comedy. Go
you
ahead.
Lied. With 4 of my comedian friends, we are putting together a 24-hour comedy marathon. And right now, there may be a couple more, but right now there are 5 charities that are going to benefit from this. It's going to be a 24-hour, like a telethon. The part of the planning is it's also going to be a food drop for Long Island Cares.
So you're a modern day Jerry Lewis. That's what you're doing.
Well, no, that's not me. Basically, what we're trying to do is twofold: raise money for the charities. All the charities are going to split the funds equally.
Okay.
We are probably going to bring in comedians from around the country via Zoom and use pay-per-view as another vehicle for raising money.
Great idea.
Long Island Cares, as I was starting to say, we're also going to use it as a food drop for their food pantry.
Okay.
So all these ideas have just come out of the blue one morning, and I called my friends up, said, what do you think?
Right.
I love it.
Yeah.
It started as a 3-day marathon.
Right.
They said, let's do it in 24 hours.
Right. Okay. So
creativity, as you
but there'll
said.
be more than, you're not just the only comedian, right?
Oh, there'll be
Thank
plenty
God.
of comedians.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. So
And again, let me just do my begging.
Go ahead.
We will be looking for some major sponsors
Okay.
to help make this a reality. If
Okay.
you're somebody who believes in philanthropy, and if you're a business that believes in helping the less fortunate, no matter what it is, because like I said, these are various charities. There's not just any one type.
Mm-hmm.
They service different kinds of entities, so to
Mm-hmm.
speak.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to get behind this. This is a good area to promote your own company and to show that you're a leader in the community.
And that's from Executive Professional Beggar himself,
Correct.
Mr. Mitch Shapiro, founder CEO of Help America here. We covered a lot today.
Not enough.
I'm done with you. We're plenty done.
Well, that's my line.
Yeah, come on.
Listen, you could walk out of the room, I wouldn't even know it.
So
What was that old saying? We're friends to the end. This must be it.
I think this is it. I think this may be it. But I've threatened that before, and here you are back for the fourth time on the Profit
I'm like Brill
Express.
Cream. I keep coming back.
So all right.
Okay.
Let's get serious for a second.
Yes.
All right, but in a good way. So when you are a human being, who is one of the few people that when you share your message with somebody, and that somebody's anybody in life, doesn't matter, old, young, professional, student, doesn't matter. Your story, and not just your story, but who you are and your passion is contagious. And it literally is a kind of story that if you hear it, you can't help but be inspired. And very few, in my opinion, very few humans have that ability. And that's what I've always loved about you, Mitch.
I always felt
I didn't say
King.
I was done, but go ahead. All right,
I always felt that negativity creates negativity.
Mm-hmm.
When you're positive, you attract more bees to the honey than you know what to do with. But people must remember, they must think about themselves in this way. What is your greatest weakness? How can you take your greatest weakness and turn it into your strengths, like I did?
Mm-hmm.
And not to put me on a pedestal, but when you're faced with the fact of going blind and deaf, and you don't know what to do with yourself, you got to look inside and say, what can I do? Not what I can't do.
Right.
And I think I have accomplished more in the last 26 years, or maybe the last 60 years of my 70 years, than I ever could have imagined doing.
That's it. Well said. That's how you end the show. That's a mic drop right there. That's a mic drop moment. Mitch, I'm glad, and it's an honor to share the message because I know the benefit it brings to so many people. While there are lots of great organizations out there, okay,
I'm just one in many.
You're one, but it's absolutely one worth getting behind, and there's lots of good reasons, and we've already discussed it. I'm just, I'm helping out the Executive Professional Beggar here. You got the casino night. We're going to make sure that there's some links. When we post the show, it's going to be up this coming Wednesday. I'd like to say if there's anything else, but God knows where you'll take it. I'm a little bit nervous. Who knows where you're going to go? Anything else?
Well, I can't get lost because everybody tells me where to go.
Well, that's true consistently. Before I wrap, anything else?
You know something? Because of the nature of the beast, and there's so many of them. There's just so many darn messages to get out there. Mm-hmm. I just ask anybody listening to give us some consideration.
Yep.
Think about how you can best help our organization help others.
There you go.
Again, it's not about Mitch Shapiro. It's about Help America here and the people that are part of the party.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
As always, a pleasure.
Likewise.
And this is the Profit Express. And if you were listening today, if you're tuning in, and you were thinking, life's a bitch, life's tough, I'm at the end of my rope, I don't know. Today is the kind of show that gives all of us a chance to reset and realize, you know what, who am I kidding? let me realize the potential that I really have. And that is the message that Mitch Shapiro has shared with me every time I've spoken to him. And I like to think that, hey, I'm a positive guy. Timmy Ellie, host of the Profit Express, right? But it's amazing when you focus on, as Mitch said throughout the show today, when you focus on what you can do, not what you can't do. And that's true of all human beings. So let me, as the host of the Profit Express, again, remind you, say, hey, you know what? If you know somebody who is affected with hearing loss, okay, Help America Hears a great, great organization to get behind. I encourage you to do that. You're going to see the details in the links for the show to Casino Night that Mitch has coming up. And remember to follow me in the show at The Profit Express on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that, yada, yada. Hit the bells, the likes, the whistles. You know the deal. Until next time, realize the potential that you really have and how that's going to help you win the battle for the business. It's The Profit Express.